So what does this look like when we have more than one transformation? So the absolute value by itself does two things. It it gets rid of negatives and it mirrors. Okay, mirrors a positive onto the negative. Now the order in which things happen now are important. Okay, we need to make sure that we know what's happening first. So in this case here, I have a left 3 and a mirroring. Which one happens first? And depending on which one happens first, we're going to get different results. Okay, so we have to be very careful. So here's my original parabola. It's a x minus 2 squared parabola. So it's a parabola centered at 2, 0. Okay, so sketching my parabola here. This is my parabola. It's going to be more like this. Okay, so there's my original parabola. And so two things are going to happen to it. So we need to make sure we work out the order of it first. Okay, so when we look at this, the expression, it is the notation here. My notation is absolute value x plus 3. So that's my notation, so I have to do it in the complete reverse. So I want to solve for the other x, solve for this x in here. So I'm going to undo the plus 3 first, and then I'm going to undo the absolute value with my plus minus. Okay, so when I look at this expression now I've got, this is my description, this is what I'm going to actually do. In the order that I'm going to do it. I'm going to go left first, then do the mirroring. Okay, so that's the steps of what I'm going to do. So I need to first of all do my left 3 first. So I'm going to move everything 3 to the left. Okay, so all the coordinates then get shifted 3 to the left. So I'm going to end up this point here, and actually maybe I should mention something here. I really want to know where my mirror point's going to be. Okay, so this is where I'm going to do my mirroring. So I need to know where that mirror point starts. So here is my negative, my 3, 1. It gets shifted left 3. It ends up at 0. Okay, so this is now going to be the mirroring point, because when I do the plus minus, I need to know where the center is. Okay, so everything gets shifted left 3. So I'm going to go 2, 1, the 3 gets shifted to 0. Okay, so it's going to be 2, 1. This is going to be negative 1. That's going to be negative 2, negative 3. And I got another coordinate in here. It's going to be negative 4. Okay, 9, 4, 1, 0, 1, 4, 9. Okay, so those are our coordinates here. So that's the first step. I've done my left 3. At this point, I want to do my mirroring. So I want to know where my center is, and this is why I have shown this highlighted here, because this is now my center. When I've moved it left 3, okay, so I'm just going to show what's going to happen here. So I've moved it left 3. Okay, so it's going to look like this. I need to now get rid of all this negative part here, because this negative x now can't exist. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of all that and then mirror just this little bit here from here to here. It's going to mirror across. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do next. So I'm going to get rid of all this negative. Okay, so that's basically, I've shifted it. I'm going to get rid of that negative part. And then I'm going to mirror the positives. I'm going to need another table here. I'm just going to do another table of values here. So I've got my mirror point. I've got my positives, which just stay positive. Now the mirroring becomes negative 1, negative 2. I've got to mirror the positive points across the mirror point. I get those coordinates. So there it is. I've done my 2 steps. My left 3, then mirroring, right? My absolute value, which gets rid of the negative and mirrors the positive. Okay, so we need to, it's important to know the center of symmetry. So and this is hard to do. You got to make sure that, and this is the harder version, is when we do shift first, then mirror, because when we shift, we got to figure out where is that mirror point going to end up. Okay, the mirror point is at 0. So just going to show you one more time what happened here. I did left 3 first. I'm going to shift left 3. Okay, and then the mirror point ended up right there. Okay, so we get rid of all that and we're going to mirror like that. Okay, so when I draw in my graph now, I'm just going to move that graph back to its original position. Okay, so when I actually draw my new graph is going to be this table here. So 0, 1, -1, +4, -2, +9. It's up there. And then we have those mirror points here and here. Okay, so we're going to end up with that graph that looks like that. Okay, and we've only really used this section of the graph because the other section we ended up getting rid of that when we did this, getting rid of the negatives. Okay, so there's my final graph. It's kind of more of a V-shaped graph. It's not that, doesn't have the nice U bottom because it got chopped off right there. Okay, so be very careful when we're doing this. You have to make sure that you first of all know the order of the transformation, and then when you apply the absolute value, you're going to do 2 steps. Get rid of negative, mirror the positive.